Alright, today we'll be looking at the Oraimo Watch 5 Lite. As some of you may know, I just recently reviewed the itel smartwatch Storm Ultra, and when I started using this watch, I started to notice some similarities between this one, like the Watch 5 Lite, and the itel smartwatch Storm Ultra. And in my head I was like, okay, what went wrong? Who is copying who? So I started to do some research and I found out that Oraimo and itel are owned by the same company. A lot of you probably already know this, but honestly I didn't. And it's not even just Oraimo and itel that the company owns. The company also owns Infinix, Techno, and Cynix. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but yeah, Cynix. And honestly, it is starting to make sense to me now, because when you look at a Techno phone and an Infinix phone, you'll see that they are very similar in terms of the software design, because most of the options you get in the menu are very similar. So while people are out there arguing over which smartphone is better between Techno and Infinix or itel, in the end, all the money that is being spent on those phones is going to the same company. Just a thought. But anyways, let's review the Watch 5 Lite now. So this watch currently costs around 18,000 Naira. And from that price, you'll get a TFT screen. If you are used to AMOLED screens, you'll probably have a hard time with this watch. But the watch is very responsive when you interact with it. It is sharp, the colors are good, brightness is also very good even while outdoors under the sun. Honestly, it is a decent screen. It's just that you won't get features like always on display, very vibrant colors and deep blacks. But if you can overlook that, then you'll probably like this watch. I should also mention that you cannot manually turn off the screen of this watch. You'll have to wait for it to turn off on its own. So I think it's best to set the duration to 5 or 10 seconds. One thing about the screen that I would say I personally don't like is the glass. The glass looks very plain. I think this is the second watch with a flat glass that I've used. Most of the watches that I've used come with a magnifying glass, so this one having a flat glass makes it feel cheap. But I haven't noticed any scratches on this watch and I've been using it for like 2 weeks. This watch is also water resistant, which I am glad they considered when designing the watch, because if you think about the price, then water resistance is something that feels premium. And when it comes to the design, well, on the right side is where you get the power button. It is round, but spinning the button does not control the watch. But if you want, you can set it in a way that when you press it 3 times, it will quickly call your emergency contact. Above the power button is the microphone for phone calls, which I'll talk about later. And on the left side is the speaker. You can make phone calls with the speaker and you can use it as your Bluetooth speaker as well. Finally, on the back, you get the sensors and the charging point. This watch comes with a 300 mAh battery and I did not charge it for a week, and the last time I checked before charging it, it was at 69%, which is actually quite nice. But the watch doesn't show you an accurate battery level unless you check the app, and even when you are charging the watch, it doesn't show you the battery level until the watch is completely charged. But overall on this watch, the battery life is very good. If I had to rate it, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Since I've already started talking about the app, I think we should focus on it in this section of the video. So with the app, the new thing that I noticed is the AI watch face or the AI dialer. Unlike the previous watch that I reviewed, I tried generating an image of the moon exploding and the app said that it was illegal. So yeah, just keep that in mind, that not all your images will be generated because there are some words that are banned. But if you can generate an image, know that you can only generate up to 30 images every month. You can select up to 100 contacts from the app, which is quite nice. However, you can't choose the number you want to select. So this means that if you have a contact with like 4 numbers, well, you cannot select that number that you know that will always work when you call the number. The app just selects a random one. I don't know how it works, but it just selects any one of them and hopefully it selects the right one for you, which is something I don't like about the app. Hopefully they will fix that in the future. As for notifications, you can pick any app you want to receive notifications from, and the watch can store a lot of notifications, which you can always clear anytime you want. Vibration on the watch is also very good. It's one of those watches that I've noticed that has a good vibration. I selected the strong option, and honestly, with the option, I have not missed any phone calls or any notifications. And talking about phone calls, well, you can use the watch to make your normal phone calls. You cannot make internet calls like WhatsApp calls and Zoom calls and the rest of the internet calls that people make. But yeah, here's a sample of a phone call that I made using the watch.
Alright, so I'm making this phone call using the Oraimo Watch. 5 Lite. And this is what it sounds like. This is switching to my phone so you can hear the difference in terms of sound quality. So I've switched to my phone and this is what it sounds like. I believe it should be a bit louder, but yeah, I'm going to be switching back to the watch now so you can hear the difference again. Yes, I've switched back to the watch and by now you should be able to tell the difference in terms of sound or voice quality.
One thing that I like about using this watch to make phone calls, as well as some of the other watches that I've used, is that you can switch between the watch and the phone. This is good for privacy because when you're using the watch to make a phone call, well, the speaker will be loud and everyone around you will hear what the person you are talking to is saying. So with that button, you can just tap on it and then you put your phone to your ear and no one will be able to hear what the person is saying anymore. Also, I should have mentioned it earlier, you do get all those exercise and health features. There are features that I hardly use, that's why I don't like talking about them in my videos. But yeah, they are there if you want them. So here are a few more things that couldn't make it to this review but are worth mentioning. The first thing is that you have the wrist to wake feature on this watch so that whenever you lift up your wrist, the watch will light up. That's when you activate the option. There's a calculator app as well as a flashlight. You can access your phone assistant via the watch, which is basically Google Gemini for Android devices. And finally, you can set alarms using this watch. So that's the review for the Watch 5 Lite. Sorry that it came late. I moved to a new place, so that's why I couldn't make the video on time. But yeah, if you have any questions regarding the watch, please let me know in the comments. Like the video if you found it helpful and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.